What's up, guys? It is Alex here, Coach Alex. I'm going to tell you about the basics of boxing today. Now, a great thing about boxing training is you don't have to be a fighter. You don't have to get hit in the head. It is something anybody can do. It is safe, it is fun, and it's the best workout ever. Don't take my word for it. Try it out for yourself. So again, I'm going to tell you about the basic movements, the ABCs of boxing here today. All right, first thing, fighting stance, most important thing. This is the foundation that you're gonna build your house on. So if you're right-handed, stand just normal, feet shoulder width, hands are down. You're gonna take one little step back with that right foot, turn the toe out. I like about 90 degrees. Everybody's a little bit different. And then I like my left foot pointed forward. Next step, you wanna bring those hands up. Not nice and high like this, just relax, bend at the elbows, bring those hands up to the cheeks. And then finally you want to drop the weight down. You want a little bend in the knees like you're riding a skateboard. You don't want to be tall and stiff because then you'll have no balance. You want to make sure you're nice, loose, and relaxed. If I'm left-handed, southpaw, exact same thing, right? You're standing here nice and normal. Take a little step back with that left foot. You want to then bring the hands up and then drop down in that stance a little bit. Essentially, you want your power side back. So whatever hand you throw a ball with, that's the hand that's going to be back. We call it lead side, rear side, so we don't say left and right usually. For me, my lead side is my left, my rear side is my right. If you're left-handed, it's the opposite. Your lead side is your right, your rear side is your left. All right, so the straight punches are the jab and the cross. If I'm right-handed, that means my jab is gonna be left hand, cross is gonna be my right hand. You always want those hands up. They always begin and end at that same place. For the jab, most important punch in boxing, it sets everything up. You're just whipping that lead hand out. That, for me, it's that left hand, bringing it straight back to the chin. It's a quick snapping motion. It's not a big power motion. It's like you're whipping a towel. You're rotating that wrist, hitting with those top two big knuckles. For the cross, you're getting a little extra rotation in because it's coming from that back foot. So you're gonna turn your hips, rotate your hips, keeping the elbows in. That back foot is squishing the bug so that you can turn those hips even more, get more power. You're pulling your lead shoulder back as you're bringing your rear shoulder forward. I'll show you on the bag. So when you hit that bag, you want to make sure you're getting full extension on those arms when you throw those straight punches, those jabs across. If you're too close, you get T-Rex arms. That doesn't help. If you're too far, obviously, and you miss the bag. So you want that perfect distance. Snap that jab, bring it back. Turn that shoulder a little bit, put that shoulder behind it. When you throw the cross, watch my heel. I'm turning my hips, rotating through the punch, but I'm not leaning forward. I'm just rotating and ripping that shoulder, left shoulder back, right shoulder forward on that cross. All right, next up we have hook punches. These are a lot harder because they really come in from the side. So when we throw those straight punches, those jab crosses, we're keeping our elbows in, we're extending our arms out all the way. For hooks, it is the opposite. We are bringing our elbow out and we are turning our hips. So a lead hook, that's gonna be on my left side. I'm bringing my elbow up, I'm rotating, I'm turning my hips as I do it, keeping my head on the target, turning, shifting my weight from my lead foot, my left foot, to my right foot. Now, of course, this is just a movement. What makes it a punch is that quick, explosive, snapping motion. That's the lead side. The rear side, I'm now shifting my weight from my right foot to my left foot. Again, the elbow comes straight up like you're clearing off a shelf. Now, we do have hooks we throw to the body, but we'll drop those hands, body shots. Same motion though, it's that circular motion. And all the power comes from the hips. Your arms are not doing anything here. You don't want to extend your arms. You don't want to swing your arms. You just want a quick, sharp turn of the hips. I'll show you what it looks like when we actually get to hit something. All right, hook punches, we got to get a little closer to the bag. They're more shorter range punches. You can lengthen them. There's different range hooks, but generally you want a little bit closer. You want to bring the elbow up. And again, watch my heels. I'm turning my hips. I'm rotating into the punch. I'm shifting my weight from one foot to the other. My arms aren't doing the work, it's just those hips. All right, so now we have the uppercuts. The name almost gives it away, right? They come up from below. You want to use your hips and legs though, because you could ask just about anybody, what's stronger, your biceps or your legs? Most people, it's gonna be their legs. Sometimes you'll see uppercuts like this, like you're doing bicep curls. Those aren't gonna hurt Those aren't gonna burn as many calories or use as many muscles as using those legs. It's that quick drop down and then driving off the ground as we turn our wrist, as we rotate our wrist facing up and coming right underneath the chin. Now when we hit a bag, it's a little bit different on uppercuts. You have to change your position slightly, and I'll show you what that looks like right now. So uppercuts, you're in pretty close too. And again, you wanna use those legs, that little dip down, and you're coming right up the middle. Now when you hit a bag, you can't go straight up or you'll miss and hit yourself in the face. You wanna go a little bit outward angle, come a little bit underneath that chin, use those legs, use those hips to drive up under, and make sure, again, it's that quick, explosive movement that gives you the power, and it comes from those legs. It's like your hips are launching the punch. You're making sure to rotate the wrists in, like you're zipping up somebody's sweatshirt very violently. All right, so you've got the punches down, you got a pretty good offense, but it can't just be all offense. There's defense in boxing too. It is probably the only fighting system I know of that uses head movement to avoid punches and also set up counter punches. It's a beautiful thing about it, a sweet science indeed. So, a lot of defensive moves you can make. I'm just gonna talk about a couple right here. Main ones, we've got the slips. So, right, slipping one side to the other. As you can see, I'm not really moving my head too much. I'm just turning my head and shoulders, moving it just off the center line. That's how you would dodge straight punches coming in at you. The other thing that's cool about a slip is it loads up the other hand, because pretty much everything in boxing is transferring weight from one foot to the other. So if I slip to my right side, I'm loaded up to throw that cross or that right hand, whatever it is. If I were just to walk up to somebody and go like this and pull back, they'd see it coming a mile away, wouldn't be very effective. But when I slip, I get out of the way of a punch and I load up my own punch. You get it for free. Great thing about boxing, true on the rolls as well, right? We roll, this is how we duck under hook punches. You can imagine that I'm drawing the letter U with my head. So I'm first ducking down, and then I'm transferring weight from one foot to the other. Not only am I rolling underneath a punch, but I'm setting up a counter punch by putting my weight on that side. So imagine you draw the U, you just bend the knees, keep the head up. You don't want to put the head down. That's the worst position in boxing. You want to keep it up at the target. Those are the rolls. Those are the slips. A lot of other things you can do. There's blocks, there's pulls, but really the best move there is not to be there. Footwork. Talking about our feet in boxing, I'll show you what that looks like a little bit on the bag. All right, so again, we got those slips. We're moving side to side. It's like we're playing peekaboo with the bag. The rolls, we're ducking underneath, setting up those counter punches. But of course, my favorite defense of all is simply this, moving back. Now the bag can't hit me, I can't hit the bag. If it's a person, they can't hit me either. That's the best defense. In fact, footwork is so important. It's maybe the most important thing in boxing, but it's also the second hardest thing to learn. So don't worry about that part yet. Master these basic things. You will get so much better. You will use more muscles. You'll burn more calories. You'll hit harder. You'll hit faster. Everybody wins except for your opponent. So let's see you in here following that sweet science and, of course, mastering that technique.